What's going on, family? What's going on? It is Thursday night. And we are live here on the couch with Nick and ShaLonda Allen. Now, as you can see, my better half is missing this evening. He had to take a trip home. There has been a passing in his family. So let's keep the Allen and Mendez family in our prayers, along with Lady Raine and her family as well, you guys. Our love and, our prayers are with all of them tonight. But you guys, the show must go on. The show must go on, you guys. How is everyone tonight? I see you guys are popping on in. Everyone's popping in. It's Thursday night. Where y'all at? We on the couch. Y'all ain't even here. What's going on? Share. What's going on? Hey, Choice. Hey, Ronnie. We are on. We are here. We are back. Yes. And yes, we will continue to keep Dr. Lady Raine in our prayers, you guys. Keep sending that love and all that strength and peace onto her, you guys. Hey, she needs all the prayers that she can get. We are so happy to be here with you guys tonight. So, as I always say, I want to jump into it because I tell you, we get started and before you know it, the time is already up. It's like these lives go quick. So I'm so excited tonight to introduce to you our guests. My husband and I, Nick and I, we definitely been researching different ways to invest and ways to make our money work for us, right? So we can work smarter, not so much harder, okay? And so we have been praying and we've been looking for a solution in order to do that, okay? And so tonight, I want to invite you all to meet a special guest that we have, and it's Mike Morrison, you guys, with Real Newbies. And he's going to talk to us tonight about real estate investing and talk to you about how you can learn to ditch that 9-to-5 eventually, you guys. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Mike Morrison.
Hello.
How are you tonight, man of God?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being on. We really appreciate it. And I know the time difference, so it's definitely a blessing. We really appreciate it. So let's first introduce everybody. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so based out of North Carolina, born and raised in the South. I attended a college, East Carolina University, had no interest in real estate investing at all. I went to college to be in psychology, research psychology, actually, right?
Wow.
So I grew up in a housing projects in the South. So if we're on the West Coast, I don't know how you guys' housing projects looks in the West Coast. I know up north, they're like these big, tall buildings. Where I'm from, it's like these duplexes, right? And basically what I tell people is I never understood home ownership because we lived in subsidized housing. So my mom's rent was $16 per month. Okay, so when I went to college, that's when I realized, like, wait a minute, people actually own where they live at. And that's what piqued my interest in real estate investing. Going to college and seeing other people have things that I never even was intrigued by, I never even thought was possible. But I knew once I saw other people making money, people my age making money off of real estate, and it was something that never, dawned on me, that was something that really intrigued me. So that's what started my journey into real estate investing.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, no, you did say how the housing projects look out here on the West. We have palm trees in the hood on the West Coast.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's still, something that's amazing for my husband. It's like, this doesn't even feel like,
For sure.
No,
for sure.
It's the hood and that is a palm tree right
Got
there.
You.
Yeah.
Got you.
That's what's going on here. So that's great. So, okay. So what was it about? Where was your heart when you started the Real Newbies?
So when I started Real Newbies, first and foremost, I was in a position where I was working a 9 to 5. I was already investing in real estate and was having success. What I realized was, when we start this journey of real estate investing, or more importantly, trying to attempt that, that financial freedom that we all talk about, building that legacy, passing on information as well as, wealth. When I started that journey, I was so young that I didn't understand the value of sharing. I felt like, I was just trying to get as much as I could as far as information, not technically the real estate. I was trying to get as much information as I could. And I feel like I started growing as I started sharing. So I would share it with family members, friends, and they would say, man, how do you, I know you work for the government. I know good well you can't be affording this, this, and this, right? I work for the state government, not even the federal government. So
right. Let's be clear.
There's a little bit lower. Let's be clear. So when you work for the state government, you got to make it 30 years to enjoy a pension.
Right.
So until that 30 years, life is typically pretty hard. So what I realized was, you know what? I don't want to be a 9 to 5er. And there's nothing wrong with it. But in my opinion, if you're working a 9 to 5 that doesn't fulfill you, you got to find something else. So although I was already investing, and I'll tell you a really quick story. I was fasting like crazy when I started Real Newbies. And I was working for DSS as a social worker. And I stayed overnight at work. And I was watching a foster kid. And I started reading. Now, keep in mind, I was fasting. It's 2:00 in the morning. I can't go to sleep because I got this foster care kid there that I got to watch. So instead of, my wife ended up calling me. She said, hey, you want me to stay up with you and talk to you all night? I said, no, I'm going to read. So I started reading. And the minute I started reading, I started writing. And that's when I wrote my first course. I wrote it overnight while working my job for DSS. And that's when I wrote Real Newbies. I was fasting. And it was just the most unusual thing that it just came to me. But we know where it came from, right?
Right. We know where it came from. Right.
That's where I was.
Wow. See, that's powerful. God to meet us right where we are. And that's what we fail to realize sometimes, especially when we're in the middle of a storm or we're in the middle of doing something that we know that, there's so much more in me. There's so much more that I know I can do, something that can at least bring me some joy. And I like that you said that you were fasting. And that is exactly where you begin to, manifest that thing on paper. I love it. So tell me this. There are so many different ways to invest. And I know, I'm sorry, of course there is different ways to invest, but there's ways to invest in real estate. Right. Now, what I absolutely love about Real Newbies is that you take everyone from cradle all the way. I mean, actually, you never even really release. You're always there and you're supportive. Now, I know where the economy is right now, and a lot of people are pretty much, worried and they don't really know what to do. Right. When is the best time to invest in real estate?
That's a great question. And I'm going to give you the cliche answer. The best time to invest in real estate is yesterday. The second best time is today. And it's super cliche, but there's never any bad time. Right. A lot of people are afraid about, housing prices and the crash. I bought my first investment property in 2008. Wow. Anybody knows what happened in 2008, right? I bought on the bad side of 2008, right? I bought like May of 2008. The winter of 2008 is when the bottom fell out of the market. So you imagine buying a house in May and then by February the next year, your house has lost 25% of value. Right? Wow. But the beautiful thing about real estate is it's a tangible investment. Right. So it's not like the walls are falling down. The investment still exists. And that's why you'll see people, although, we have this potential recession coming, as people say, when you're looking at markets, the stock market and the real estate market are both markets. They go up and down. Right. The difference is the stock market, you have immediate changes. The real estate market moves slower and the real estate market is more predictable. Real estate is the only investment that you actually have a cheat sheet before you invest. We talk about that a lot of, okay, well, I want to do a fix and flip. Where do we pull those numbers from? Oh, let me get the comps, right? All the houses that sold in the neighborhood. Okay, well, what do I do decor-wise? Oh, I can look at the comps. They did a full door on this one. They did, grayish brown hardwood floors. You do that too. You almost know exactly what you're going to sell the house for. That's why it's such a safe investment. So as you see the market change and shift, smart money is rotating out of the market, and they call it asset classes. So they're moving from equities to real estate because it's a more stable asset class in a volatile market situation.
Okay. Now, first of all, I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? One thing about the Real Newbies that I love is that every Thursday night, they have a team call, and you have complete access to Mike, and you get to pick his brain. And the people who are actually working in the field are actually talking out their real deals, the things that they're really doing. And you're able to dive in, you're able to ask questions. There's no stupid question, right? I mean, everyone's learning, right? And so I think that is absolutely awesome. The thing is there's so many myths and, so many things that are going around. I mean, come on, you're on TikTok long enough, you're going to find a couple of tips here and there that might actually work or may not work, right? We don't know. But let's talk about dismantling some of those myths. So do I have to own a home in order to invest in real estate? No.
And I'll say this, actually not owning a home gives you an advantage, because it opens up another avenue for investing in real estate. It's called house hacking, right? So when I got involved in real estate at 25, I didn't have any money. I was actually working a job. I was making $26,000 a year. It's not a ton of money, right? It's not the right home. Okay, so $26,000 a year.
All right.
Fresh out of college, didn't even have a job for 2 years yet. Credit score was, 620-ish, 640-ish, right? And I was renting. Okay. So when you don't own a house, you have the opportunity to reap the benefit of government loans, right? So I went to a credit union. So if you're at a credit union, ask them about 0% down, no PMI loans. Big deal. If you got access to that, so my Navy Federal people, anybody that's, with a credit union, even a state credit union, I use the state credit union. Okay. FHA loans, 3.5% down. Okay. You're not going to get that as an investor. Okay. You have to, they call it owner occupy, and it has to be your primary residence. Okay. That's what house hacking is. Okay. USDA loans, that's in your rural areas. 0% down loan, that's another option. Most people hear the word conventional loan and think, I can't come up with 20% down. I can't come up with 10% down. Well, most conventional loans, you only have to put 3% down. Okay. So in doing that, not owning a house actually puts you at an advantage. Now, when you do that, we teach you the methods of acquiring a property, walking in the door, making money. Right. So for example, let's say we discuss with a person that's facing a distressing situation, like a pre-foreclosure. They want to sell their property, want to move on for it. We get it for 70% of market value. Okay. So let's just use easy numbers, $100,000 house, we get it for 70. Guess what you can do? You can cash out refi automatically. So you get in it for zero if you do the 0% down option, right? You're in the house for zero. But let's say you spend the 3% down or the 3.5% down. You're still in that property for less than $3,000. Now, with that 30% of equity or more, you can cash out up to 80% of that, right? So that's your first investment. Right. And you got some people that take that. That's what I did. I used that as my first investment. And then when the market tanked, guess what happens in the tanking market? The rent market gets stronger. Right. Because when people are losing their homes, we're going to be frank. People do not want to say, hey, I lost my house, y'all. Right. They're going to move into another house and make it look like it was, Right. Right. So, so they don't want to rent apartments. They're renting houses. So I parlayed that perfect purchase that I had and let somebody else pay my mortgage down. And because the market was tanking, I bought another house off the market that I would have never been able to afford in any other circumstances. It's a $400,000 house. I bought it for $225,000. Pool in the back, the whole nine. Okay. And now I own 2 houses, and I got this traveling nurse paying down my mortgage. The market comes down, it comes back, cash out, refi both, cash out 80% of the equity. Right? So
yes.
Not owning a house puts you in a favorable position.
Mm-hmm. Yes. See, so, okay. So, I mean, okay. So definitely we can own a home without, you can invest in a property without owning
Sure.
property currently.
Sure.
And credit doesn't even have to be a factor either, right? There are so many other avenues that you can go into, right? Outside of, house hacking, fix and flips. Can you name some of the other ways that you can get into investing?
Yeah, probably the most, if you get caught in that TikTok black hole, you're going to probably hear about wholesaling, right? Or YouTube. I mean, most people talk about wholesaling because that's the low hanging fruit, right? That's the method in which they say you don't need any money to make. It's true. And it is a viable option. But I always tell people, when you approach a job and you're doing work, and I don't care how hard you work, if you bring a hammer and nails to a job that requires a screwdriver, you're not going to get far. So what we try to do is teach a person or teach individuals that diversified approach, right? Because any business, Amazon, Google, all they talk about is revenue streams. Right. So when we teach this, we teach the business piece. We say wholesaling, house hacking, fix and flip, lipstick flips, owner financing, lease options, Airbnb. The options are endless. But why would you just focus on one when you could focus on them all? So, depending on what situation you're facing, you can choose which tool to bring up.
See, now I love that. What I also wanted to mention was the fact that, I know a lot of people are worried about this recession or whatever is coming. The blessing of it all is that, God's people, we flourish in recession. Okay. Kingdom people flourish. There are resources available to us, and you guys, I definitely want to make sure you take an opportunity to connect with Mike. And you all, thank you so much, Choice, for putting it in the chat. There is a link there. So even while Mike is still talking, you could definitely click on the link there, and you can set up a call with him. It's free. He'll answer any questions that you have. And I know a lot of people have access to different groups that you can, connect with. But there's one thing that I love about Real Newbies. And the reason why I wanted you all to know about Mike and his team, it's the fact that he's not pulling any type of commission or anything from helping you. So can you explain that? I remember I brought that up to you. Like, this is not a
It's funny that you say that, right? So I get skepticism. I understand skepticism, right? Because I've been at those, and I'm not going to disparage anybody, right? I'm not going to say anybody's name. No names. Right? No names, right? But I've been to those 3-day conferences, right? And you get to the end and it's like, are you ready to invest? Are you ready to change your life? And I'm like, yeah. Day 1, day 2, by day 3, you committed, right?
Right.
And it's like, come on, somebody, meet me at the back of the room, right? And it's like, you go to the back of that room and they say, it's just going to be a mere $30,000. And it's like, what? $30,000 to learn how to wholesale? That's ridiculous, right? So when I started Real Newbies, I did that. I removed that payment ladder perspective of it, where, hey, come in and I'm going to take every dime you have. But then next week, I'm going to teach you about sales. So that's going to be your next check. And then I'm going to teach you about how to communicate with motivated sellers. Then that's your next check, right? Mm-hmm. They call it a payment ladder. And I committed myself to not doing that. Now, you won't believe how many people I've spoken to that said, you say all the right things. And it's too good to be true. And I'm like, do you want me to say the wrong things? Right? Like,
what do you want me to say?
Yeah, what do you want me to say? But I think at the end of the day, we have to change our minds from that trick of that offer versus opportunity.
Right.
We're convinced because we see offers all day.
Right.
Right. The McRib, I promise you, will come back. Right. Like it's a limited time offer. Right. Offers are limited time, but it means they come back.
Right.
Opportunities are different. We talk about opportunities as being fleeting, as being an open door that will shut, as it being once in a lifetime. So when I talk to people, I'm talking about opportunities because I want to work one-on-one with you. Opposed to all of a sudden you have this guy that you see him on an ad, but then some random person calls you, gets you to pay them $15,000, then you never hear from him again. Or you got some other guy that's like, he pulls up at a house and say, hey, let me show you this. And he's riding you around. And then every deal you do, he's taking half or more. Guess what? You just created a job, not a business. Right. So I commit to my students that once you sign up, I've signed up to coach you, not to boss you around or be your boss. You signed up to be a mentee and a business owner, not an employee. So that's my goal.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You guys, we are here with Mike Morrison with the Real Newbies. You guys, don't go anywhere. We have a commercial break going here in a few. Check these church announcements, folks, and we'll be right back.
Your ad just happened to come across on my page, and I joined that day.
And I made more in like 4 months that I made for a year and doing that at VAC.
Mike Morrison is my guy. He gives me a lot of great advice and helps me kind of navigate through the process when it comes to the sale and the purchase on properties just like this.
We don't focus on doing a lot of deals. We focus on improving your margin.
Definitely.
Right? Because you don't have to do as many deals if you're making 15 or more per deal. And I don't know how many math gurus are out there, but if you're doing 4 deals, making at least $15,000 a month, that's 60 grand.
Hey, Praise family, meet service disabled Navy veteran Howard Martell. He's a Christian, family man, and business owner of Howard Superstore. Howard, tell us more about the store.
Some of our top sellers include Gen Mink. It's 100% pure mink oil and provides exactly what your skin needs. Gen Java Gourmet Arabica CBD coffee with an unbelievably good taste. Jenny's Roll-On Pain Relief. Gen Health, which supports a healthy immune system. Ultimate Keto, Ultimate Body Formula. Gen Pet Max, Total Pet Health for cats and dogs. And Gen Ties, Clean Hands. We're also super enthused to bring Gen Energy to the consumers. This is a power factor correction unit installed in your home or business, and it absolutely helps reduce high energy bills from power companies.
Learn more about these amazing products. Visit howardsuperstore.com. That's howardsuperstore.com.
There is an exciting new book out named Transition by author Crystal Starzz. This book talks about her changes from childhood to adulthood and other things that happened in her life. This book is also a testament that anyone can turn a negative life into a great life. Transition has recently become a bestseller on Amazon. You will find exciting and realistic reviews about this best-selling book. So, visit thetransitionbook.com and order your autographed copy of Transition today.
Shop Soulful Touch Roses for your personally designed rose at soulfultouchgifts.etsy.com.
Have you ever wanted to host your own inspirational radio show? Have you been called to inspire and spread God's word? Please contact Raine for more info.
Are you the next great independent artist? But you're looking for a distribution opportunity? Well, sign with us at Praise.fm Music Distribution. Yes, the 2021 Stellar Award nominated Praise.fm can handle it all. We understand the narrow road leading to getting your music heard at the right time at the right place can be tough. So send your music and video files to fmpraise@gmail.com. That's fmprayz@gmail.com. Praise.fm Music Distribution, affiliated with Sony Music and the Orchard Distributors.
I could be on top of the world again. Just hold on to his unchanging hand. Be a part of the plan that he laid out. Live life up till it fade out. Fading, fading, fading away. Fading, fading, fading away.
Give me 5 words with a meaning. Over 10,000 tongues when it sound like screaming. Scenes from the nightlife, whole team glimmering the keys. Both room and a whip for the evening. Midnight air when I breathed in. Feel the devil's breath on my neck like he leaned in. Got her too high, hit a tailspin. Want nobody in the pit with me when I fell in. Caught an L in, jailed in.
Unique Sounds Music Group presents a music fest on Carnival Freedom, January 26th through the 30th, 2023. Sailing from Orlando, Florida to Nassau and Princess Cay, Bahamas. Reserve your spot today with just $25 by contacting booking at uniquesounds.com.
Attention! Music Fest has opened its doors of opportunity for a short period of time to musical talents to perform. For more information about participating in the Music Fest shows, please contact Let's Connect at A2ZChristlife.com or www.praise.fm.
Lift your voice and say, oh, 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 let's get crazy. You say, oh, 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 let's get crazy. You say, oh, 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 let's get crazy. You say, oh, 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 let's get crazy. Lift your voice, oh, 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 let's get crazy. You say, oh, 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 let's get crazy. You say, oh, 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 let's get crazy. You say.
All right, all right. So I hope that you were able to listen to all of those announcements, and there were a lot, you guys. So just let me go over a couple of reminders for you. We set sail, you guys, January 26th to the Bahamas. It is going to be so lit. So don't forget. Now, it was on the 7th of July, I believe, that the registration fee was due for access to the Music Fest. So if you have not paid for your registration fee, please make sure you do so. Your emails already went out. I think I sent a couple of reminders out. It should be an email coming directly from us. If you have any questions, please let us know. If you want to take care of your full cruise, please feel free to contact Doug. All that information I know is in the chat. So you guys, we can make sure that, we have a crazy time on that cruise. It's going to be so lit. I mean, we got rooms. We got a room for hip hop, for R&B, for gospel. And we are going up in the gospel room. So please make sure that you are in attendance and that you take care of that registration fee. And you know what? You get a cute little gift bag. I don't know about you guys, but I love a good gift bag. Like I like a shirt, I want a wristband, I want something. I mean, that's how I am. I don't go nowhere without coming back with something. So with that registration fee, you do get a little gift bag, and you get, access, all access to all of the music fest. Also, you guys, Praise FM and the Praise FM family, you guys, we were nominated for Spin Awards. Please vote for us. I want to know what it feel like to hold a Spin Award in my hand and thank my mama. Please. I mean, just one time, please. So anyway, the whole family's been nominated, you guys. Dr. Drab in the Momentum Shift, Raine and Starzz show, On the Couch with all of us. So make sure you vote. On the post, we made sure that we listed out all of the shows so that you were aware, what categories to vote, because I do understand there are a lot of different categories as you go down. But just, have some faith and just get the voting. You have until August 7th. Blow it up. Let the Spin Awards get tired of the Praise FM family. They're like, I'm tired of these folks. Let's go ahead and give them the awards. So let's do it. So, all right. Let's get back. Wait, let me say one more thing. First of all, Fisher Girls and Starzz, they go hard. Did y'all not hear that music? Like, man, I'm so mad that I missed Praise Fest. I know it was live in there. So you guys make sure you download those tracks, you guys, okay? So anyway, we're here with Mike Morrison with the Real Newbies, and man, he's been dropping some serious nuggets and letting us know how we can eventually ditch that 9-to-5 and get into real estate investing. No, you don't have to know anything about real estate. No, you don't have to have good credit. No, you don't have to already be a homeowner. You can do this thing, and you can be a part of a team that will mentor you, that will actually help you out. And believe me, I know, because I ask Mike questions all the time. Okay. And for some of us, because we live in Arizona, you do have a lot of questions. So you look forward to having the opportunities to have those conversations, because it doesn't seem like this is a place that, is, conducive for that because of the housing prices. So I'm excited to dive in. And this is, man, it's definitely a blessing. And it's a blessing to find people of God who you can trust, to be a part of programs like this, to be a part of a team like this. So Mike, with that, I want to also thank you for offering the viewers an opportunity to connect with you. So can you tell everybody what they get for being able to connect with you through the link that is provided specifically for us? Yeah. So first of all, definitely, with the link that's provided, it gives you an opportunity to interview, to have a call with me. But I'm going to do one better for anybody that's listening and want to write this down. So I'm going to give my personal cell phone number. So if you, that way you don't have to worry about the interview, right? Okay. All you have to do is shoot me a text. And again, I'm in North Carolina, so it's about 11-ish, a little bit after 11 here. But text me now, and I'll make sure you get on my calendar. You don't have to do the interview. You can just text me, and I'll know you came from here. So text me 2 things. Text me your first name, your last name. So 3 things. First name, last name, and the work. And the work thing. Because I want you to text me and let me know that this is something that you believe in. And we talk a lot about faith, and I would not be here if I didn't have faith into where I feel like I deserve to be or where I saw myself being. So text your first and last name and the word faith. You don't have to go through the interview. You can use that link if you want to. There's going to be a survey that you have to fill out. Or you could just text me, 704-832-5733. 704, where's that from? That's a Charlotte number. 704-832-5733. Text me directly. I'll make sure you get on my calendar. What?
Yep.
What an awesome opportunity, you guys. Now be careful. I'm texting that man all night long now because his wife going to know what's going on now. What?
Go for it. Go for it.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay. Give it one more time just in case. So we'll make sure that Choice got it too.
All right. 704
Mm-hmm.
832-5733. That's my personal number. Text me your first and last name and the word faith, and I'll know where you're from. I'll know you're from this call, and I'll make sure you get on my calendar in the next 72 hours or so. I'm looking over at my assistant. But yeah, I make sure you get on my calendar for sure. I promise you that.
Perfect. So, can you give me an example of, maybe a situation where, somebody, jumped in and didn't think they would be successful. And typically how long does it take, you think, for someone to really grasp the process of this thing?
Yeah, I always ask people because I want to challenge you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, anybody I talk to, first and foremost, I'm not one of these quote unquote gurus that you call me and the first call, you see me on, I advertise on Facebook and stuff like that, right? You see me in an ad, you see people talking about my company and stuff like that online. And it's like, oh, I bet you he's not going to be the one on the call. Guess what? It is me on the call. So I think that's the first thing that surprises people.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm the one that calls you. It's like, hey, what's going on, ShaLonda? You're right. Like, it's like, what? Wait a minute.
Right.
So that's the first thing. So when I do that, I think that eases a lot of the skepticism because I know skepticism is real and I understand why people are skeptical. I had this gentleman, a brother named Nick ShaLonda. He's from Boston, Massachusetts. Okay. He is Haitian with a heavy Haitian accent. Okay. So, and he's in Boston, Massachusetts. Okay. So just throwing that out there. And so when he called me, he told me, he was like, I'm not even going to do his accent, but I'm not going to do it.
I do that.
yeah, I'm not even going to do it. But Nick ShaLonda is my man. So he says, hey, I'm discouraged. And I almost gave up. He said, but I'm not really giving up. I just took a break. I said, well, what made you take a break? He said, I gave somebody, he said he gave somebody $12,000 or $13,000 and he didn't get anything out of it. And this is the first time I talked to somebody that challenged me. He said, I want to know what you know. Those are his exact words. He said, I want to know what you know. I promise you, if I know what you know, I'm going to kill this because I don't give up. He said, I'm Haitian. I grew up rough.
Right.
Me being successful at this is easy. And I think when he said it, I believed him.
Yeah.
Long story short, when he did that, he was in HVAC. He was making $70,000 a year. I can show you checks right now on my phone. I can show you his new Range Rover.
Man.
I can show you all the things that Nick ShaLonda has done. And ShaLonda, have you been on the call with Nick ShaLonda before?
Yes, I have.
His energy is a little overwhelming.
His energy is out of this world. Yeah.
But he's not messing around.
Right.
And the difference is with us is when he sends me those checks, it says his real name on it, or Simon LLC. It says all his real information.
Wow.
And you can meet him on our Thursday call. Like, it's not anything made up.
Right.
So for him to go from making $70,000 to half of the year on the Q2, at the end of Q2, he was at $375,000. 300, just correct.
Wow.
$375,000. And most of those closings or checks that I have pictures in my phone of him sending them to me.
Wow.
Pictures of it. So when I say, that's one, and I'll give you one other quick one. A brother named Leland Boyd. I met him. He was 28 years old, met him at church. Okay. And we had a mutual friend and he was like, man, you need to talk to Leland. He's really into real estate. And I'm not going to name drop anybody, but there's another investor coach that's in North Carolina. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he signed up for somebody else's course and hadn't had any success. So I told him, well, what are you planning to do? He said, I want to wholesale, man. I want to be a wholesaler. I said, well, why would you limit yourself to just one revenue stream? So we developed a plan. He did 2 wholesale deals because he was hungry. And when I say Leland is a devout brother of faith,
right,
like, he just knows he's destined for greatness, right? Because, I wanted to leave my 9-to-5 because I wasn't making money. He worked for Microsoft corporate at the time. He is an IT professional at 28.
Right.
You know, he was doing all right. You know,
Yeah,
like
you do all right.
he's already doing well. You know, 6 figures in North Carolina is all right. You know,
Right.
and what he tells me is, man, I know I'm going to do great things. I said, well, stop just focus on wholesaling then. 2 deals, first 2 deals, wholesaling. He made $7,500 total. His third deal, he called me. And, you know, Leland's like, and again, he's 28, 29 at this point. He said, bruh. I was like, what? He's like, I'm about to make $20,000 on this deal. I was like, that's cool. Run it down. He goes through the numbers. And I tell him, I was like, this is a subject to deal. You can make way more. Long story short, he subject to it, gets it on the contract, does a lipstick flip, makes $62,000. Quits his job 2 months later. For his 30th birthday, he bought a 6-unit apartment complex. Just today, I talked to him. He's working on a $1.6 million deal in Concord, North Carolina for a co-working space.
Wow.
And that's Leland. He'll be 31 in December. So.
Wow. But just being in a position to receive the right information from the right place.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine because, you know, digital courses and stuff like that is really popular right now. You know, being able to go out here and buy a course so you can learn how to, you know, do, I don't know, drop shipping or, you know, some type of Amazon business or whatever the case may be. The thing is that you never know the quality of what you get. People are paying, you know, lots of money for these courses that aren't giving you much information. What are some of those things do you think that when someone's looking for a group or for the kind of training that the Real Newbies offer, some things that they should look out for? Because I definitely know, just for me, when it comes to Real Newbies, I know that I have an open, free space to be able to communicate any questions and stuff that I have. That to me, that's just real dope. Because you don't always have an opportunity like that. I'm the one that needed the small class sizes, you know, when I was, because I always got a question. So, you know, so I do like the fact that, you know, that is something that you can do, you know, because if you're actively working on it, it's almost like, okay, can you help me with this process? What else are the benefits of being a part of the Real Newbies? You know, that helps everyone.
Yeah, I think the biggest, you know, we take a multifaceted approach, right? So, we call it, I call it the mass strategy, right? When you're learning anything, you have to master it, right? We talk about those 10,000 hours. So the only way to circumvent those 10,000 hours is to have a coach, right? That's what Robert Greene says, right? He always talks about if you need 10,000 hours, the only way to circumvent it is to have a mentor or coach. But what if you have a coach plus a support system of people that's on the same wavelength as you?
Wow.
You know, like think about how much time that cuts off.
Yeah.
So you get the mastery a lot faster. Now that's where most people leave it at. Oh, I know how to wholesale. Yeah, I know I'm gonna do a deal and okay. But what if you master all these concepts and then you get to the point where you establish a workflow?
Right.
You know, A to Z workflow, so to speak. Right?
Hey, come on now, plug it.
You know, I do what I do. You know, so look, A to Z workflow. Okay, so if you could take a process, on those lines, though, right? Seriously, and you could say, well, okay, I start here and I end here.
Right.
The next step is automating it, because what you want to do is replace yourself with technology.
Yes, Lord.
Right?
Automation is a blessing. Yes,
there
Lord.
you go,
yes.
right? So we've all been in those situations like, look, if it was just 10 ShaLondas, you know, I'll be all right. I can get it out.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, and that's what automation does, right?
Yeah.
You do it one time, press a button, technology takes care of it. So that's the second step. That's the automation. Now scaling. Oh, big fancy word, right? Everybody's, you know, I'm working on this and then I'm going to scale. The worst thing you can do in business is scale a failed or a flawed process.
Right.
If you have a flawed workflow and you scale it, you're gonna ruin your business, right? So scaling usually incorporates you taking something that's working and dumping resources and money into it. That's all scaling is, right?
Right.
In the hopes that you can grow your business exponentially. That's scaling. right? And the last piece of our process is sourcing. We want you to work on your business, not in your business. We want you to create a business and not a job. So at some point, you become the boss. That's the fun part, right? You start hiring people, you start finding people that can do some of the things for you. And that's when you start sourcing out talent. So that's the difference for us. And that sounds really complex, but nobody else is teaching it. And I don't get it, because the shiny toy is, let me get you a deal. Let me show you can't scale a deal, and you can't leave a deal to your children. So if we're talking about legacy, you shouldn't be focusing on one deal. I promise you that.
That's right. That's right. Oh, see, yes, I don't even know where to, to finish with that, because, it really is important. It's the fact that you want to ditch your 9 to 5, right? So you don't want to create a whole nother monster outside of what you already deal with all day long. It's one thing, especially when you have a family and whatnot, it's definitely a blessing to be able to have information at your fingertips, and hey, eventually being able to talk the lingo when you go out into the field. And that's actually, one of the other things that are, great about being a part of the group. Right. But you guys, I want to make sure again that we reiterate that tonight you can text Mike, okay? 704-832-5733. It is right there in the chat. You guys text the word faith and your name, and he will get you set up on his calendar to be able to connect with you and to get you started. I also have a link in the bio as well for you guys to click on to be able to sign up. So if you missed a allotted window for the text, you can still reach out. He is willing to invite you to some of the trainings, or just to, have a conversation with you, jump in, ask questions. You're definitely free to do so. But before we end tonight, Mike, I wanted you, if you could possibly encourage the people out here today, any word of encouragement you want to offer anyone who is, looking to get free from where they currently are? Yeah, for sure. So, my big thing is faith. I talk about it all the time. I wouldn't be here without it. And when I look at faith, and I'm sure we all heard this description of faith. We hear about how faith is like opening a cellar door and being able to see the top 2 or 3 stairs, and everything else is dark, right? Faith is stepping out, right? That's why they call it stepping out on faith, right? And you step out and you walk down those stairs into the dark, right? But faith only gets you but so far. You got to have hope. Mm-hmm. Like, you ever heard somebody say, when you hear those commercials say, are you feeling hopelessness? Like, you imagine not having hope. Right. A person that's hopeless, and if you can't not marry faith with hope, when you get to the bottom of those stairs, you're like, well, I'm not further. Instead of saying, I made it this far. Right. I know I can get further. So I'm encouraging people, step out on faith, because if we push you, you're not going to do it. You have to step out. You have to leap. You have to trust that somebody's going to catch you. We know who's going to catch you. We know who's going to guide you. We know who's going to give you the wings to get where you need to go. But you have to step out and leap. If you get pushed, you're going to be too afraid to succeed. Mm-hmm. And so many people are waiting for someone to push them. To be honest, they're waiting for God to push them. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Right. You have to step towards him. He's laid the path. And if you have faith, the path has already been established for you. And one of my affirmations I say every morning is, the blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and he adds no sorrow to it. If you truly believe that, what's for you is for you. So if that's what you truly believe, take a leap, take a step, and you'll get there. Oh boy, he got the preaching tonight, y'all. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Yes. Yes. Well, I thank you so much for joining us tonight. on the couch with Nick and ShaLonda. Well, it's on the couch with ShaLonda. And just like my shirt, I'm just out here doing all the things. I'm doing them by myself. I tell you, I was a little off because it feels weird, Nick not being here, right? So, but I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank you so much for the opportunity that that you've presented, that you've offered to the Praise FM family, and for all, for all of our On the Couch viewers. This is a great opportunity, everyone. Even if you're a real estate agent, if you're in insurance, any of those other areas, please connect with Mike. This is a great connection. This is someone who, who can possibly, definitely expand your network if need be. So you guys, let's make sure we connect. And we just thank you so much for joining us. And we just pray that you all have a good night. We'll see you soon.
You are tuned in to that praisey station, Praise.fm, where we get our praise on. 24 hours, 7 days a